What's up guys, I'm Nicole, culinary producer at Traeger Grills, and today we're gonna be making pork lettuce cups with a soy ginger sauce. So we're gonna use a slurry on this. It's just a mixture of cornstarch and water. What that's gonna do is it's gonna coat the pork nice and give it a really good mouthfeel. So first things are soy, vinegar, a little bit of honey, some sesame oil, and brown sugar. Just give that a little mix, break up that brown sugar a bit. So we'll just set that aside, do our water and cornstarch. And again, this is just gonna kind of help thicken that sauce up a little bit when we add it to the pork on the griddle. We'll just add it to our soy. So we're gonna flavor this with a little bit of minced ginger and minced garlic. So for the garlic, you just get a couple of cloves, give it a good smash with your knife, and that'll help take the peel off a little easier. So then you just want to give it a really good fine mince. So we'll go through it one way and then kind of turn it and go the opposite direction. And then just rocking your knife, give it a pass back and forth a couple times. And you want to do about a 1-inch piece of ginger. So you'll cut all these little nubs off. And then the easiest way to peel these guys is actually with a spoon. You're just gonna kind of shave the skin off. All right, so same thing. We're just gonna cut thin pieces one way, and then we'll kind of cut them into little matchsticks from there. So from here, we turn it again and then go into little fine mince. So last thing here is some scallions. We're gonna use 3, and you wanna use the green and the white. And again, just as thin as you can, all the way down. All right, so that's gonna go in with our pork on the flat rock. The last thing we're gonna prep here is some carrots to go on our lettuce cups for garnish. So we're just gonna use 1 medium-sized carrot, give it a good peel. We're gonna cut off both ends, and then what I like to do is cut them into like 2 or 3-inch segments. And then I cut one side off so you have a flat surface to work on. And then you want to cut kind of just as thin as you can, these little planks. We're going to cut them into little strips, and that's going to go on top of our lettuce cups when we're done. So you should end up with these fine little shoestrings. It adds a really nice fresh element to the lettuce cups. You could also pickle these and add them on top after they've pickled. Either way, it's a nice little crunch to add in at the end. This goes really fast, so that's the important part about having all of your prep ready to go, because it's gonna be over in a minute. So we're just gonna add these to our tray here, head over to the griddle. So we're just gonna give this a fresh coat of oil. You wanna use something with a high heat, like a vegetable or a canola oil. You can even use the Traeger conditioning cream. And just using some paper towels and a set of tongs, we're just gonna give this a good wipe, just getting off any of that excess from the last cook. All right, so our flat top's ready to go. We're gonna give it some fresh oil here. Just kind of spread that around a little. And I've got 2 zones on here, both at medium, and then straight in with our pork. So I like to use 2 spatulas to kind of break it up a little bit. So the beauty of cooking on something like this is the sear happens really quickly and you get great color on it. So we're really just trying to give it that time to pick up that brown color, get that Maillard reaction. We're gonna kind of push this into a little pile here. We're gonna season with a little bit of black pepper. We're not using salt here because there's a good amount of salt in the soy sauce. So now that we've got some nice color on our pork, we're gonna add our garlic and ginger. Just put that right in the center and just give it a toss. You wanna only cook this for like 30 seconds to a minute, just until you can smell it. We're gonna get it into a nice pile. And we've got our soy sauce mixture here. You wanna give it a good stir because that cornstarch will settle. And we're just gonna pour it right over the top. All right, so you can see that sauce is really thickened up and nice and coated the pork. Last thing we're gonna do is add a little red pepper flake for heat. It's optional. And I like to toss my carrots in right now just to kind of soften them a tiny bit. You still want them crisp and you still want that bright crunch. They'll just kind of take a little bit of the edge off. All right, so using both of our spatulas, just kind of scoop it up. So I'm gonna leave this on for just a little bit. It's gonna burn off all the residue that's there and it'll just make it that much easier to clean at the end. And we're going to build this into some lettuce cups. And honestly, this is super easy, like under 30 minutes. You could do this as a main dish or an appetizer. And we're using butter lettuce here. Just make sure it's a nice, sturdy, crisp, clean lettuce. We're going to take a little bit of this pork mixture that looks amazing and just fill each of these lettuce cups. All right, so we're gonna just top these with some chopped roasted peanuts. You could use some fried shallots, some crispy garlic, whatever you prefer. So easy, it's so simple, and it smells amazing. I am going to dig in. Oh, this looks so good. The glaze on that pork is so good, and that tiny bit of heat from the red pepper is perfect. I love the crunch of the peanuts at the end, and that carrot just adds that fresh element. It's so, so delicious. So make sure and give this recipe a try. Find this one and many more at Traeger.com or on the app.